Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a lovely day out there today. Bitcoin, of course, did nothing over the last 24 hours, but now we're looking at a breakdown or a breakout. Right now it looks a little bit more like we're looking at a breakdown, unfortunately, but we're going to be talking about that. Plus some news that came out today. I would say overall the news was actually pretty good as far as earnings. After yesterday was more of a meh type of thing. But this may give the stock market a little bit of juice for tomorrow, which of course can always translate over to Bitcoin. So we have some hope here that no matter what happens as far as the technicals in the short term with Bitcoin, we could possibly still see a breakout that could at least take us back up towards 97,000 bucks. Getting above that may be a little bit more difficult. But Loki's over here with his toy chilling. He's been outside most of the day as usual, having a blast, but I just brought him inside, although I guess the door outside is actually open right now. But he's playing with his toy, so say hello, Loki. Yeah, toy. He doesn't want me to take it, but he does want me to take it. Can I have it? Can I have it? Thank you. And then, good boy. Yeah. And then he gets to go run off with it and be like, ha ha ha, I got the toy from Dad. All right, so happy to have you guys back again. Wilder Productions, happy to see you as well. Let me hop right into this right now. Definitely going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today. Not much is really going on here. And then tomorrow I'm going to try, and we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try to do a 3-hour long stream tomorrow, where tomorrow's Thursday, where I think it can be something around maybe 3 p.m. Pacific time to 6 p.m. Pacific time. Maybe we'll see how that goes. Maybe 4 to 7. I'm not entirely sure just yet. But I do think it'll be a fun time, so I hope you guys can come along for that. Today I got myself a new Opus shirt because Opus gave me a few t-shirts, which I think is awesome. But yeah, let's look at Bitcoin here very fast. Things looking pretty interesting. Hey, Charmander, happy to see you, my man. We're still in the same pattern. We're still in the same holding pattern, if you will, from yesterday. You can see that we actually did take a little bit of a dip down below, but it didn't manage to hold here. Part of that, in my opinion, is despite this 4-hour chart kind of looking a little bit more bearish, you can see how everything is like teetering along right now. And then you could always go on, see some of the divergences happening at this point as well. That being said, you take a quick peek at this from here to the daily chart. The daily chart is still bullish right now as far as MACD is concerned. So again, I'm not going to see a full capitulation type thing happening, but I do think as we get closer and closer and closer to this MACD flipping back over to red, I do think you can see maybe a move possibly back down here towards like the low 90s, like 90 to 91,000 bucks. I think that would be more precise if we do manage to break down. And part of that is just, again, you look at these moving averages, what happens around those moving averages, we see a lot of volatility. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow there's some bad news tomorrow or something like that. Bitcoin does try to have that bit of a drop. So far, we're holding. I would say so far we're holding. And if you go over to the 4-hour chart like we were talking about yesterday, there hasn't been a confirmed breakout right now or a confirmed breakdown. I would wait until you have that confirmation, probably on the at least the 4-hour chart. I mean, you could probably maybe go down to the 2-hour chart and stuff like that, but see, that's deceptive right there. That's deceptive. I don't want you guys to be opening up trades right here and be like, oh, all of a sudden, like you short at the very bottom of the trend just for it to go back up and you to get stopped out, right? So I think, yeah, probably 4-hour chart is probably going to be the best one for us right now. Excuse me. But that being said, let me just show you guys something here. We did have some good earnings reports out today. You can see the futures are all up a little bit here. Not a lot, but they're up, right? Court finds Apple executive lied under oath at Epic Games trial. That's not good. Microsoft had some good earnings and Meta had some good earnings, so that was some good things here. Nothing was perfect, but I think things were probably better than they were supposed to be, and I'll always take that as a little bit of a win right now, especially in this market environment. You can see right there, Microsoft shares jump on earnings, revenue beat as Azure cloud business grows 33%. Meta shares rise on stronger than expected revenue in the first quarter. There's a few other things that happened here today. Qualcomm tops estimates, right? So there was, I would say, okay, good news coming out today. I'm happy with it. Will this translate to Bitcoin having a larger move? If I go over here to the 15-minute chart for everything else, there you go. NASDAQ going up quite well. Dow Jones coming up a little bit. And then the SPY also coming up a little bit. I think this should generally be some good news that can help Bitcoin out, but it might not help Bitcoin out until tomorrow morning. right? Here's Bitcoin's 15-minute chart. Here's Bitcoin's 5-minute chart. You pull this back out for the market sessions. Let me get the pointer on. I don't like the crosses. Soon as the market opened up this morning, we just started freaking falling into free dive. And then we bounce back up, hit support again, bounce off support. And, you know, here we're going up slightly. Again, breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. So we are still curling back over for a bearish move here. But if you guys are going to try to catch it for some nice plays, it's back, what, Tuesday? Yeah. You can still see there's tons of volatility happening in those first hours and whatnot. We are pretty close to 5, too, with about an hour away from now, when we see the Tokyo time hidden as well. So we might actually see some more volatility there. Excuse me. Let me back this up a little bit here, right over here. Everything else playing a similar move here. I would say, unlike Bitcoin, which has something of a higher low type of support, you might see a few tokens out there like Ethereum, right? More of a flat support level though. Actually, I would actually say Bitcoin has that same support level if you have a flat one, like we talked about before, like 90,700. But it just seems like everything else isn't managing to hold up as well. They really do come crashing down quite fast. I'm sitting in cash. I think a huge correction still hasn't happened. Right now, it depends on Jerome Powell, because we've been having this really nasty economy for a while, but we just haven't had the full-on recession. And actually, if I go over here very fast and just hold on a second, let's see if this works. Does this work if I do it like this? Maybe. Let's see. There we go, glitched into place. There we go. So here was some news from today. GBT gave me news from like the last month or so, so I had to like refresh and say, hey, the news from today. The U.S. economy contracts in Q1 of 2025. There are going to be multiple revisions of this, so just get ready for the roller coaster, because we thought the same things happened back in 2022. But the U.S. economy shrank by 0.3% in the first quarter of 2025, marking the first contraction since early 2022. This downturn is primarily attributed to a surge in imports as businesses rushed to stockpile goods ahead of President Trump's newly implemented tariffs. While consumer spending saw modest growth, the significant increase in imports negatively impacted the GDP calculation, right? So it's a calculation. We imported a bunch of stuff because nobody wanted to pay the fees on tariffs, reasonably so it makes the GDP look like it's contracting. In which case, because it's part of the equation, it did contract, just to let you guys know. Now, despite the negative GDP report, the U.S. stock market showed resilience. You know, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rebounded from an 800-point drop to close up 141 points, while the S&P rose 0.2%. The NASDAQ narrowed a 3% loss to just 0.1%. So, again, had some bad news. The market wasn't really in a good mood this morning, as you guys saw from some of the futures and things like that. But we managed to have a nice pop, which I think actually ended up doing very, very well for us at this point in time. Oh God, I don't think YouTube gave out many notifications today for streams. It's gonna be one of those chill days, guys. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff that happened today. I don't think I'm in a concerned mode just yet. I think we're still getting choppy. I know I put out a video a while about this. Let me go over here to YouTube, because I'm always sure I put out videos for the important stuff. It's not going to have technical analysis and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Bitcoin struggles at major resistance. Then over here, where this rally kick off the altcoin season, we talked about that a little bit in there as well. Because I remember I was outside with Loki and he was just basically chilling here. Then the last part of the news here was the corporate earnings and forecast adjustments, which I actually thought was pretty cool. Amid escalating uncertainty caused by President Trump's tariffs, numerous major companies have revised or withdrawn their financial guidance for 2025. Automakers like General Motors, Stellantis, and Mercedes-Benz have suspended their earnings forecast due to the impact of the 25% tariffs on imported vehicles. UPS withdrew its forecast and plans to cut 20,000 jobs. Consumer goods companies like Procter & Gamble and PepsiCo slashed their earnings and sales outlook, citing rising costs and subdued consumer demand, right? So the reason I was kind of happy about this, besides the jobs being cut, is again, we have an opportunity for the economy to slow down just enough where we start to see, how should I put it? You know, Jerome Powell be backed into a corner where he feels like he has to cut rates. When he has to cut rates, that's when you see Bitcoin start to go sky high. Ethereum over here doing a little bit better than Ethereum, right? assuming Solana doing a little bit better than Ethereum right now, but not necessarily better, I would say. Mostly because Ethereum managed to hold on to its support. Solana didn't really manage to do that so far. I've been hoping for a larger move, but man, we're on the daily chart. You can just see we're teetering, waiting for a larger scale breakout. But what can be the catalyst of that? I'm not entirely sure. The closer we get to this 20-day moving average right here, the larger chance we have of a big move taking us all the way back down below 90,000 bucks, which would, of course, tick off a lot of people out there. I just want to read this very fast, guys, to see what it's about. Court finds Apple executive, Apple and executive basically lied under oath in Epic Games trial. Apple willingly violated and ignored, geez, I can't speak today, a 2021 decision that came out of the Epic Games case. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers said in a decision on Wednesday, neither Apple nor its counsel corrected the now obvious lies, Rogers wrote, saying that she considers Apple to have adopted the lies and misrepresentations to this court. Ew. Rogers added that she referred the matter to the U.S. attorneys to investigate whether to pursue criminal contempt proceedings on both Roman and Apple. Ooh, let's see. She wrote that Apple Vice President of Finance Alex Roman outright lied to the court about when Apple had decided to levy a 27% fee on some purchases linked to its Apple Store. Let's see. Oh yeah, I mean they've definitely done that. As somebody I know, yeah, that's used Apple. Those fees are ridiculous. If you try to like have a business on Apple, you know they're gonna take like 30% of all the money you make. It's a massive tax. It is crazy, but it's how Apple's become so dominant. But again, that could be considered a form of monopoly. So you're gonna see people get really ticked off about that here pretty soon. Very ticked off about that, which is why you're seeing on the court stuff like that happening now. And hey, Nick Trickle, happy to see you. Hello from Greece. 2M here. Have a fantastic month. I'm hoping May turns out to be a really, really good month here. I'm going to do some really good stuff with the channel, hop on board. I don't know how I want to do the gaming streams, though, because it seems like because nobody wanted to really chill with me on the gaming stream this last night. I'm like 10, 15 people maybe. But I think it's hurting the pushing out of this stream right now. So I think I got to be a little bit more smart about how I do these streams and things like that. If anything, maybe I'll do a 2-hour stream with you guys, and then we'll just hop straight into a game for those of you guys who want to chill out and still watch that game. But I probably can't have a new stream coming out because of all the other stuff going on. We'll see how that works out, though. But it seems like YouTube is definitely punishing me today. The algo is based off of what I did last night as far as gaming and things like that. Let's see. Making sure I'm looking at some stuff here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that should definitely be a little bit of an interesting I got to learn about. Oops. All right. Besides that, I was trying to see if anything was actually up a little bit today. Not really much. Again, we've been pretty much sideways. Fartcoin had a little bit of a bump. Curve Dow token had a little bit of a move. Pi, Hype, Artificial and Super Intelligence, right? And it seems like for most of those, they're just nice little trends here. But a few of them, like Pi, I mean, Pi is having a short-term pop, but Pi year-to-date is down about 67%. Excuse me, 64%. That is just not good. At least Hype is only down 17. Artificial Intelligence only down 40. Even, you know, Floki and whatnot, even these are kind of bad if you think about it, even Dog with Hat and stuff like that. So these short-term bumps aren't crazy, but when you see them mixed in with the 7 days and the 24 hours, you do see a little bit of a trend here, but also showing you that a lot of people, because they've made their 96% profit, their 15% profit, their 30% profit, their 25% profit, they also probably have been taking some profits off themselves and doing a little bit of scaling out because they're like, oh yeah, I've been holding this for a minute and I'm up a lot right now. You know, I do think there's going to see a lot of that happening right now. After that, guys, you know, there's some stuff that went up a little bit here. Official Trump is up 4%. I don't know how I feel about Trump right now. You guys know how I feel. It bumps up real fast and it kind of just crashes afterwards. If it keeps on pumping, maybe I'll get more interested into it, but I don't think that's going to be for me just right now. And then I've started to put a list together. I'm going to actually make a list on a watch list on coinmarketcap.com, and we're going to do something new as far as like well, I don't even have coins this one, maybe 2025 bangers or something like that, where we're going to look for coins under memes, AI, and gaming, perhaps maybe AI agents as well. And then I think that'll be kind of fun to plug some of those in, buy up a few bucks worth of each, maybe 10-20 bucks of each, and then just see where they go. I'm trying not to go crazy because I think the last time I do hundreds of dollars and stuff, when they go up I typically sell a little too early because I like the profits that I see, right? Let's go back over here. Actually, Virtual's protocol is actually up around 100% last 7 days, but it's also down 63% year to date, so this could potentially have a move back up, and it's only around $1 billion market cap. Yeah, let's see. Hand-on, 320% year to date, $70 million market cap. That one doesn't seem crazy. Some of these are very small though. AI rig complex, right? So that means I own this one, I'm pretty sure. I don't own Griffin, but I own this one, so I'm pretty sure I'm still down on that position despite it being up like 14% over the last 7 days. Let's see, anything else here? Swarms, that's 29. And that's too small. I don't think I was able to buy this unless it was on weeks or something. Nope, definitely not able to buy this, unfortunately, just yet. Oh, there's weeks. No, maybe I was able to buy it. I'll have to check my wallet. I got a bunch of tokens on there right now. Yeah, poor Apple. They're screwed right now. There you go. Especially as Trump is looking for power over corporations. Oh yeah, he's gonna find it. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to let loose. This is a very quick intro today because there really wasn't so much of a change. We're basically just waiting for Bitcoin to make a decision whether it wants to break out or break down. We're probably going to know sometime tomorrow morning around market open. So far, if I was to look at this, I would still say we are a little bit more bearish than bullish on the short time frames. But I think that as we kind of roll until tomorrow, because we had some good earnings last night, or today basically, you know, I wouldn't be going all full in like opening massive positions just yet. I'm gonna wait to see what I'm gonna wait to see what happens tomorrow, because we may be lucky enough to get one last little boost up here, maybe towards like to get 97,000 bucks. I guess the tall part of this is 99,500. So I do think there's an upside here, but I don't want to play into this just yet. Too much choppiness, and that choppiness makes for day traders to be happy, but everybody else to be like pissed off, right? At the 1 hour chart, bullish, 2 hours bearish, 3 hours bearish, 4 hours bearish, 12 hours bearish. To me, daily is bullish, 12 days bearish, weekly is bearish mixed, right? So I'm hoping we don't teeter off a little bit here. Then going into next week, we have a little bit of a capitulation moment where we come all the way back down to the 80s. Again, it wouldn't be a terrible thing, but if like for our wallets and whatnot, but if like a psychology wise, oh god, that would kill us. After all the happiness we've had from this one little boom, that one little week right there, you know, everybody would be just like, oh, here we go again, we're going back to bearish. All of a sudden Bitcoin's coming back down to like 50,000 bucks, you know, stuff like that. Ooh, I hope it doesn't come down to that though. That would just be that would tick me off. I think it tick a lot of you guys off as well. Let's boom this over here very fast. Yeah. I think we're getting closer. I don't like the way this is looking though. We need to really get a pop and hold, and that doesn't look like what's happening right now. And hey, Digital K, happy to see you, my man. Do I think Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high this cycle? I do think so. Probably by the end of the summer, I do think we're going to hit an all-time high. Whether we go into that crazy level where everybody's talking about now, like 150,000 to 200,000 bucks, $250,000. I'm a little bit more hesitant about that type of stuff. I don't think we're in a good economic environment for that to occur just yet. I think what needs to happen is what we're probably going to see happen is a lot of wealthy individuals and a lot of institutions around the financial sector in New York City. I think they're really going to pump up Bitcoin this time. Retail may get in there, right? But they're going to be late to the party as usual. And so, you know, I think give it a month or two after Jerome Powell starts to cut rates, we're going to start to see a nice cycle open up. I think we're going to see some quantitative easing. I do think the economy is in such a precarious spot right now that Jerome Powell has to seriously consider how bad the economy is when making his rate cut decisions. And I don't think he's going to be allowed to continue not cutting rates, especially as Trump has put this massive like light on him saying, look at this guy. He's the one that's supposed to be making sure that the economy is doing okay as far as government spending and printing money and stuff like that, and he's not doing his job. He's not doing his job, right? So we'll see. Although I'm sure that maybe Republicans probably don't want to see a crazy amount of spending coming from the government. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I do think it's most likely going to happen sometime late summer. You do too. Not looking for promising at the moment. Not looking promising at the moment, but I believe it reaches all-time high by November. Yeah, so right now, Bitcoin, if I back up a little bit, is still on a great course. It's just that when you look at these charts, they look kind of funky, right? Normally we see Bitcoin kind of have these nice, beautiful moves like this, but this was only back in 2018. More recently, since the COVID days, we kind of have these big, long stretching moves, consolidate, break down, then we kind of build our way back up. This cycle around, we've pretty much been going step by step by step. It's been very weird, right? Last move like that, even that move over here was just like a few straight months of good stuff, and then we went sideways for a minute. Take away COVID, it would have probably looked something similar than that, right? And then we would have had that big blast off. We had a few good months over here. That's really all we've really had. I would say that made people really crazy, right? Maybe a little bit right here, but there was a banking crisis right here, which made this kind of crazy. This is back when Jerome Powell was messing with the interest rates the first time, and just things were not looking too good. I think this was like regional bank crisis is probably what I'd call that. Back over here, we had a few months of consolidation, big move. Now we're going to have a few months of consolidation and a big move. Because right now, the way I see this coming out, like, I'm trying to look for a pattern here. And in my mind, this pattern doesn't finish off with Bitcoin just going like that. More realistically, it's going to have to do something, to consolidate a little bit more, get a pattern, something up here, have a breakout. Then we're going to be looking pretty good. But we haven't even had that breakout just yet. Let me see if did it keep the rules from yesterday? It did. Okay, now we have a nice trend line here. Yeah, whatever you say, whatever you think, those breakouts are very integral for our trading ability here when we're trying to find, hey, let's buy this, let's have a good amount of money coming in. Fibonacci levels are part of that, of course. But we don't really have a breakout just yet. We're still in the process of building the pattern. And I think we have time, right? For you said November is way over here. That's plenty of time. Even August, plenty of time. July, nah, not really enough time here. I think we're going to still be in a boring time for crypto. But what I think is nice is despite... Let me do this. Maybe... Well, let's start off with something simple. Ethereum. The drawings. We can get rid of that for now. Go month by month. And then... There you go. Let's poke. That's COVID right there, right? Okay. COVID to COVID, right? This doesn't look even. There you go, COVID to COVID. Oh shit, now I messed this up. There you go. There you go. Alright. You can see Bitcoin and Ethereum both had their big falls here. From COVID low. Oh, I gotta switch this. There you go. From COVID low to like high that we had. Bitcoin ran up 1,700%, and Ethereum ran up around 5,500%, right? So it's not like it's crazy to assume there's going to be more volatility with Ethereum and how nasty things are going to be. But Ethereum right now is sitting at the levels it was back in October of 2023. Bitcoin sitting at the levels it was back over here in November of 2024. Different type of environment completely right now. If you're looking for more volatility, of course, you're going to be swinging more towards Ethereum. But I mean, at the same time, you've definitely lost more money if you bought over the last few months on that last little hype that we had rather than Bitcoin. How much has Bitcoin dropped since all-time highs over here? We're at about like 15%. That's not that bad. You go over here, all-time highs. See, it's not all-time, it's the highs we had last time. It went down from the lowest. It was down 66%. Right now we're still on 55%. So as far as I'm concerned, like it's an okay time to start buying up some of these assets like Ethereum. But again, you go over here to something like Solana. A lot better story here. But at the same time, this is 2020. You know, we don't really have COVID on the Solana chart for some reason, which is actually pretty interesting. But you can see low from high. You know, this ran up around 27,000%, 25,000%. I know. Just give it some time. Would I want to buy Solana here? No, I already bought enough Solana down here as we were going up. But you even start going over here to some of these smaller tokens, like a Sand. I'm trying to think of something that's like been around for a minute. Never recovered, can still go higher. Back last cycle, it kind of ran up around what? 31,000? You know, it could still have a good move here. So I'm hoping that my altcoins can make me some good profit, but of course, you know, my averages for some of these tokens, like I don't have much sand, I don't think at all actually. But my average right now is not down here. My average is probably something closer to that. Something like that, right? So let's say this goes back up to all-time highs. I'm not going to make the full-on 3,000% profit. I'd make something more like 1,000% profit. I'm okay with 1,000% profit. But yeah, so this pattern right here for Bitcoin, it kind of irks me a little bit. I think we do need a little bit more consolidation coming in. But you know what? The fact that we're holding, I think, is a good sign for us, and I hope that this makes it just a little bit easier for the average person to hold on. It's just, again, I go over here to, let's go to Ethereum weekly. God, how many freaking order blocks do I have right now on this thing? 2. There we go. So this is a weekly chart. Right, we're still bearish here. We're not bullish. This thing turned bearish the first time. There. And it was bearish again right here. There we go. Alright, so both times we had smaller moves that happened. I guess this one was a little bit worse. But both things were kind of warning signs, I would say, right? But ultimately, Ethereum still has some work to do here. But not bullish on the weekly charts. When you get bullish on the weekly charts, oh my god, heaven is there for us. Like, we're in a good spot. Solana, good spot back over here. Nice little pump. Nice little pump over here. Yeah, we went from bearish to bullish right over here. Jeez. This one was kind of interesting because we had so much divergence happening on the charts, but there was like literally, legitimately like exchanges falling out of the sky. So I guess we didn't really get past that to kind of help with the technicals. Dogecoin coming up bit by bit, but again, not bullish just yet. We get bullish Dogecoin. We're usually in a pretty good shape. Trump isn't there yet, of course. WIF just got there. Hold on tight. I think WIF can go a lot higher, especially as Bitcoin decides to go bullish as well. Bonk just getting there too. Miro just getting there. It's been actually, Miro's been there for a minute. And you can see even if you bought over here when it opened up, you're still looking good, especially with the 20-week coming here. Stochastic is about to cross back over in a couple weeks, so I think everything's due for a nice move. I just don't think it's going to be an easy one to hold because everybody's terrified right now of holding for too long, and I can't blame them for that, right? Boom went positive last week. So far, you're good. Shiba's going to go positive here soon. Pepe soon. Floki soon. Milady token went positive a few weeks ago off that spike. You buy at the end of the week, still you're better than where you were. Back over here, we're up a little bit. You watch those weekly charts of those tokens that have been here for a while, they're going to lead you down the right path. Typically, you got to hold a little bit, like right here, right? Woo, you know, back over here, woo, you know. So weekly charts, they matter, I would say, with altcoins a little bit. So I'd pay attention to them. ADA right over here, that's pretty close to a bottom, as you know, as close as you can get. Ape token not there, right? We're getting close. We're getting close, guys. There was a breakout over here with Bitcoin Cash. Still grinding up, almost bullish right here. We could see a surge coming, bringing us back up here to 450s. So there's room. There's room. Things like Chili's right here. This is a nice downtrend. It's just breaking out of it. That could be a juicy move back up with everything crossing back over. That could be a real juicy move, actually. Wow. Chili's. It's part of a larger term downtrend, of course, but do we break out? No, we're still at resistance territory. Yeah. Depending on how you want to go with this, but this could be a good time to buy. This low zone right here, making it pump up. Don't anticipate some type of breakout, but if it happens, it happens. But just for a nice little spot trade, I could see that happening. But again, this is months. This is August over here, right? It's months away. But at least that can give you some gains. Because again, this was a nice little rally that Bitcoin had for about 147 days. Not Bitcoin, but Chili's, right? 147 days. 21 weeks. We can get there, but we need those bullish technicals to kind of back us up. Bitcoin dominance is still moving pretty nice, I would say, right now. See, it made a new high over here in this part of the move. Still creeping up higher and higher, hopefully up to 66%. But once we start breaking down and getting rejected from that, I mean, I think we should be good. If it goes higher than 66, that's a danger level for altcoins, because altcoins will just be reduced to rubble by then. You know, back over here, 2021, once we started to break back down, boom. Excuse me. There are so many more altcoins right now than there was back in the day. I think a lot of you guys know that. I just think that so many of them are dying because they don't really have a they really just don't capture people's imagination like they used to. People try to go for the tried and true stuff unless it's something so crazy like a Trump token where everybody's like, oh my god, I gotta buy into that because that can make me rich, right? We have a candle 2 or 3K up. I hope so. I mean, that would take us back up to that $97 to $99,000 target price. Jeez. I started watching you during COVID. Was there when you sold Doge. That was such a crazy night with that huge Doge short that happened. You were smart enough though and got. Oh yeah. See, that was what was crazy though, because as I always say, I didn't expect Doge to break out and hit like 50 cents that night when I started to sell. And so I got high. So when I had to hop back on my laptop to talk with you guys, I was high and I was like, ah, shit. Then people kept on making fun of me because when it broke above, maybe let's go to the hour chart and see how far back I can go. Let me go back in time far enough or no? Oh no, we're still in 2023. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, so breakout 16, 17, 20. Nope, where was that? Yeah, this breakout right here. Okay. I thought something more of a rejection was going to happen. You can see that trend line over there. I know momentum was strong, but again, I'm not like a meme expert as far as like, oh my god, look at all the crazy people trying to hop in here. But right here, right? Breakout, 50 cents. So I sold right, that's again like 5 a.m. So again, that was very early. I was very high. But you can see how after I sold it right here, within that same 4 hours, it spiked all the way up to 61 cents. So everybody was making fun of me for selling, right? And then like literally a few days later, you just, yeah. Like I think I did a very good job of selling half right here, another 10% of what I had left, or another 10% to the total I started with up here, right? I didn't sell right here because I was sleeping. Woke up again over here. That's 5 p.m. Sold, right? 70 up here, sold. I was hoping we might get to 80, then 90, then $1. But we didn't get there. So what I didn't sell over here, I'm still holding in a little baggie, basically. But it's not like I guess it's not what you would call a bag, only because when I bought it, it was all the way back down here, 0.0024, right, like way down here. So I'm still pretty freaking good. I don't know what that percentage would be now, 0.0024 to where we are now. That's still around 7,600% profit. Although when I sold at 50 cents, it was at 22,500% profit basically. So, but those were crazy days. I'm so happy. I was like hindsight, like, yeah, I'm happy. I didn't have to worry about none of that, that shit. Man, I mean, I was losing money at the time with other positions, but like I got stopped out of all my day trades, of course. That didn't take too much of a hit out of me because I wasn't trading too much because of SNL. I was like, oh, I can't look at my trades. I got to look at the SNL stuff. Wild times. And hey, her, I'm happy to see my man. Oh, and hey, Miss Tanko, hope you had a good birthday, my man. Let's see. You got out 50 and it went to like 74, so yeah, but came out huge drop. Yeah. That's what was crazy, because I thought we might have actually been able to recover a little bit, but no, we were just getting shorted to oblivion, and the panic was immense. But that's back in the day when you had massive rooms of like capital designed to manipulate tokens, right? They have that one video from back in the day where a bunch of Chinese guys were trying to crash a token, and they just dumped a boatload of money to short it. They're like, yeah, we caused the breakdown, yeah, you know. And then they started seeing their profits rolling and things like that. So we're definitely in weird times, but crypto still holds a nice special place in my my heart from all the craziness that happened back in 2020. Just crazy. 2020, 2021, 2022, just the most chaotic times in crypto history. Just imagine like everything coming down back in 2022. We haven't hit that layer of despair. People think we have, but we really haven't, and that's because we haven't seen a bunch of exchanges falling off cliffs, you know, and ending and going bankrupt and having FTX and having hearings in Congress and all that type of stuff. Whole different type of world there, whole different type, and we're not there anymore, thank God. That's just too much to worry about as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna go over here to the 5-minute chart. I just want to see what's popping off right now, because I see ID token is having a move, but looks like it's just going sideways normally. Mana more sideways. It's up a little bit today, but sideways. Fetch is up, but again, it's just part of the sideways move. Ocean sideways, yeah. Nothing is really like breaking out or doing something special, at least on my watch list here. Let me go back over here to coinmarketcap.com after I take a sip of water. See me. I think what I was going to try to do was find a nice token, but I don't really see many of them. Let's see the last hour. Virtual. That seems to be something popping off right now. This is what I wanted. Not something average, but virtual's kicking up a storm right now, but it's also heading for a nice level of resistance. Yeah, that's a beauty right there. That's a beauty. FTX damn near killed crypto. I mean, let me see. Sam Bankman-Fried. He gives an interview from prison. He's still doing okay, it looks like. I'm hoping he doesn't get off early. That's what I really don't want him to do. Former crypto mogul Sam Bankman-Fried transferred out of New York prison. Let's see. This was a month ago, though. Pause. There we go. Let's see. He's currently serving a 25-year sentence. The Bureau of Prisons has transferred former crypto mogul Sam Bankman-Fried out of a detention center in Brooklyn. Okay. He was moved to Oklahoma. A transfer point on his way to another federal lockup to continue serving his 25-year sentence. Okay. Right? For orchestrating one of the biggest financial frauds in the United States history. That's how big it was, right? Let's see. Oh, Bankman-Fried's transfer comes after he conducted an unauthorized video conference interview with Tucker Carlson, which temporarily landed him in solitary confinement. Oh, man. Let's see. An additional source told ABC News the reason for the transfer has more to do with filing his appeal rather than the punishment for the Carlson case. I don't know about that. Let's see. No, I want to see if there's any more news about him, though. Here we go. Moved again, now serving time at white collar lockup. So he's been moved again. Okay, so out of California's most notorious federal prisons and medium security facility, infamous for its harsh conditions and violent inmate population, he's been relocated to a safer prison in LA. Interesting. His last prison was known as Victimville. Let's see. Victorville prison. Okay, let's take a peek at this. This is where he's at. Not have a website. There we go. Bureau of Prisons, medium number 2. It's always in the middle of nowhere. It's always those desert looks, you know. It looks kind of peaceful. I just feel bad for the people that work there. At least make it look nice. Less than 1,500 inmates, male offenders. I don't really need to visit anybody. Commissary list. Let's see. Victorville medium number 1, USP. What's medium number 1? Is that like for women or something? Male and female offenders. So he's probably with the male ones. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how that actually works, but interesting. County San Bernardino. Alright. Yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried, I'm happy he's rotting in jail somewhere. He needs to be in jail right now, that's for sure. So we only have that one really, so let me go back over here very fast. Hype is up a little bit here, but nothing really in the top 100 is popping off today. Number 2. No, even in the top 100 to 200, there's nothing. 3% official Melania. Sorry, no, I hate looking at that because it goes so fast, but I just want to see. Now we're getting to the $136 million market cap and less. Even that doesn't have anything. Talk about a market that's just flat right now. Of course, a lot of stuff has had moves over the past few days, past week, but it looks like we're kind of in a weird little, like, let's wait and see which way the market wants to go. Not just Bitcoin, but everything is basically waiting except for virtuals. YFI is pumping. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, let me know if you want me to talk about it. What do I think about the RSR token? I have a nice bag. Oh, there we go. Let me see. Sorry, just making sure I'm not hitting Loki or anything like that. And let me go over here to RSR. 2 parts of this. What do they do? And then how's their chart looking? First, the chart's always the easiest thing to poke at, so it's at a big level of resistance. I can see how you might have a bag if you bought over here. So far, daily's still looking okay with a little bit of an opportunity for bearishness. The weekly's still bearish right now, so I think there's a little bit of upside here, but you're still holding strong, right? Let's see. Yeah. Got both those creeping back up a little bit more. It looks like it wants to consolidate a little bit more within this range before actually having that larger breakout. If it decides to break down from here, that will not be a pleasant experience, let me tell you that. But everything else, I don't think, like it broke out there, it broke out here, and now it's been going higher. Hasn't really been holding up with all the technicals, which I don't like, but again, this is a meme coin here, so it has a pretty similar, you know, history here. Let's see. Ooh, in the scheme of things. And the scheme of things, this thing really has to move in the next few weeks, or this thing is going to start coming all the way back down here to the 0.005.5 levels, if you ask me. Just the way this pattern is built off of it. But I think you're still in a good spot. This hasn't broken down, right? No, this hasn't broken down. You're just part of the larger channel here. I don't really like these blowhorns here, but that's what we got. Because we already had the breakout earlier this year. Yeah, broke out, tested right there on the cross for both support levels, and bounced back up. Yeah, this to me seems like it's going to be more of a vibe of popping off a little bit, breaking down, then having a breakout sometime towards the end of the summer or early fall. I don't expect this to keep going up like a rocket ship unless we get some big move from Bitcoin, which again, I'm just not seeing until we have some right cuts here. But you can see how we have a few weeks of good spot there, a couple weeks of good weeks there, a couple weeks of good moves, good pops, good growth, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's getting close to a nice little top here over the next couple next few weeks, I would say. After that, you might have to go back into consolidation mode before a much larger pump is going to happen. At least it's one of those tokens where it's come back up a little bit after having that bag, right? I kind of like this token as far as how it's been able to recover. Reminds me of Dogecoin a little bit. Some of the other tokens that we talk about here, like a Matic, right? That thing has just not been able to recover, and it keeps on going down, 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 which is just a punishment, which has just been, like eating away a lot of investors. But I think it's fine. Now, I put Bitcoin back up there. What do they do? 500 million market cap. That means it can go pretty high pretty fast, which looks pretty nice. Interesting opening. This is artistic. We want money that doesn't inflate like USD but isn't volatile like Bitcoin. Let's see. Decentralized token folios like ETFs but for crypto. Oh, I like the idea of that. I like the idea about that a lot. Back to one-to-one, get broad crypto exposure and buy into specific narratives with a single click like ETFs do in TradeFi, but in a decentralized way. Every index DTF is backed one-to-one on-chain with transparent custody, fully redeemable 24/7 for underlying assets. I'll bookmark this for later. I think it's actually a pretty nice idea. They got Discord, or they got see, it would be really cool. Wait, Discover. It'd be really cool if they would partner with people and we can make our own, like little ETFs, right? Total in reserve. It's a pretty good amount in reserve here. Let's see. Yeah, Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index. I don't know what that means, but it's backing Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, Base, Ethereum, Solana, Universal, Chainlink, AVAX, Stellar, Sui, Polkadot, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. This is like the Robinhood Classic. That's how to characterize that one right there. Last 7 days. Open Stablecoin Index. Interesting. DeFi Growth Index. Interesting. Yield ETFs. See, part of me just has to let them know that I want to transfer. Like from certain times, I want to be heavy in Bitcoin. Certain times, I want to be heavy in altcoins, right? Ethereum Plus yield 2.9, 3.1. Okay, those are more respectable numbers, I guess. Oh, what's that one? BSDX, don't know what that is. Market cap is 38,000. That's a pretty small market cap. Looks like everybody's really doing Ethereum on this one for putting money behind it. USD3, BSD, Ethereum. Okay. Yeah, not many people going for the smaller tokens. And I can definitely understand that. But I do think this is an interesting concept here that I'd probably want to learn more about. I might even email them for a sponsorship. Alright, there we go. Sam's name makes me sick. Pure evil. Oh yeah, yeah. The fact that he feigns like he didn't know any better. That's what ticks me off about Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah, let us know what you think about Yearn Finance. Legend says it was a price higher than Bitcoin last time. I don't even remember Yearn. Yearn was a while ago. Euro, dollar. Oh my God, look at that liquidity. That's God. Yeah, it was all the way back over here in 2021. It got up to $94,000. It was high. Now it's just holding and holding and holding, waiting for a larger move. And this thing hasn't had anything going for it so far. Jesus. Can I get something like a Coinbase graph? Maybe that looks a little bit better on the daily chart. Yeah, not nearly as choppy. A lot more trades going through. Yeah, this doesn't really look that good. It's been... I mean, if you think about it, if you wanted to play this in a safe way, you already have your support level down here. It's been bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. You could buy right now while it's at around $5,500, and then just wait for the cycle to carry it somewhere back up here towards 10,000 bucks, and you could make about a 75 to 100% profit, depending on how long it would take for it to come up that high. But I do think the opportunity is there for anybody that wants to take it. It is a longer type of play, but at least it's been bouncing like that for a while now. So, you know, I might not be opposed to it. I think it's just something where, again, like most things, you kind of have to wait a little bit to let it get that nice little, ooh, look at that move, right? Well, obviously at the beginning stages of that, but I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, you want to have the opportunity to buy when it's cheap, and right now it's definitely cheap. And hey, Manuel, I appreciate that, my man. I know I'm gonna start trying to do some streams here pretty soon that are longer, especially tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to do a 3-hour stream from 4 to 7. I think that's 3 hours, yeah. And then I'm gonna try to answer a lot of you guys' questions on tokens and stuff like that. The stream maybe even just have a general name tomorrow, like Bitcoin breakout, Bitcoin breakdown. And then, you know, at the end of the title, it'll say, ask me about your favorite tokens, you know, something like that, or portfolio reviews. I don't know, things like that. So we can kind of go in depth about what's going on with you guys. And hey, Tanker, thanks for checking RSR, Mike. Yeah, no worries. That company looks pretty nice. I like the concept of it. I wonder if there's anything like it, but I want to see when I'm looking at these DTFs. Even that just sounds hilarious. Undermaker, ENA, Plume, Aave token. Like, they need to have one that just holds like cryptocurrency exchange tokens. You know what I mean? Like the BitGets and stuff like that. Buy them up. The Weeks tokens. I mean, there's so many different tokens out there. You know. Let's see. Alpha Base Index, Clanker Index. Geez, the Clanker Index is down 10% today. The Alpha Base Index is up 10%. Oh, that's virtual. And Rebita by, I don't know, Rebita by Virtuals. It's up 33. Oh, the weight is 33% weight. Jesus. There's Coinbase. It doesn't have it there. Oh, there it is. No, that's Coinbase. Oh, interesting. But yeah, I mean, that one's moving up quite a bit. Cookie, I don't know what these ones are, but DraftKings, altcoin is. I think, yeah, Alpha Base Index, maybe that'll have a move. 7-day change, 21%, 23%. 30-day change is 35%. All right, that's not bad. Creator altcoin list. Oh, I see. So maybe people can make their own ones here. I'll have to see. Hold on a second here. Reserve. Could have swore when I was in this earlier, there was another website that wasn't there. It was kind of an ugly website. Yeah, that's ugly one. Okay, there we go. Discord. Accept invite. And there we go. I'll verify I'm human a little bit later. But yeah, so I'll join the Discord and I'll ask them some questions and stuff like that. I'd love to make some portfolios for you guys. Oh my god, that'd be so much fun. I'd be like, here's your standard portfolio, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum and Solana portfolio. This is your classic. Then I'd make one designed around AI. Then I'd make one designed around memes. Then I'd make one designed for a maximum volatility. Work hard, play hard. I don't know, something like that. I think it'd be pretty cool. And actually, man, have a good night, man. I'm about to end the stream here as well. Heard Trump is going to launch another coin. At this point, I'm just fed up. Man, if he launches another coin, I'm going to ask my friends that work closely with his team, and I'm going to see if there is one coming. If there is, I think it's just going to be absolutely nuts. Actually, let me go over here to... let me ask. I haven't talked to him in a minute. There we go. Sent a message. Everybody's in Dubai right now, so it's a little bit different. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream right now. I got to go up to Seattle right now, and basically I'm dressed in a t-shirt, but I got shorts on, which means I got to go find some nice pants to wear and things like that. So see you guys a little bit later. Tomorrow I plan on streaming for 3 hours. We're going to see how that works out. I want to listen to this stream when I get on the way up to Seattle here to see how the music was. But let me know if you guys thought the music was good or not in the comments, because I need to figure out if it's loud enough and things like that. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.